Hello, my name is Kim. I am back again to do my presentation on ethical issues in education technology. Hope you will enjoy my slideshow. Let's see here. Hopefully I can start this time from the beginning. My question is, should students be able to take computers home if they are owned by the school? Show me thumbs up if you agree and thumbs down if you disagree. Once again, should students be able to take computers home if they are owned by the school? Some of the pros that I came up with, just some research and just the first thing is that I think kids that don't have computers or some kind of electronic device at home should be able to take should be able to take the computer home if they are responsible enough to bring it back. Also, all children or teens should have some kind of electrical device that they can pick up to finish their homework assignments. Teachers can give students homework over the weekend. I'm sure that they love so much, just so the teachers know that they are doing something. I feel that kids these days and ages are, they sit and watch YouTube videos anyway, and they have a great understanding of how the computers actually work. So why not give them something more that they can be doing at home versus just playing like video games or just watching music videos on the computer. In my opinion, of kids getting D's and F's on their homework, and the reason why that is happening is because the parents are not helping or not knowing how to help their kids with their homework because of lack of understanding from the child and the parent. So if the students could be better prepared to watch a video on the material that was covered in the class as a secondary resource, it would just really, enhance their knowledge. It's almost like you're reteaching that same topic, and then you're teaching it not only to the child, but the parent can watch the video and reference back to that to be able to better assist their child as well. Because how many times have you been given an assignment and by the time you get started on it, it could be later that evening, you've forgotten the steps, especially like with math or just really anything. You could watch it or be in class and go over it. Then by the time you actually get ready to get started on it, it's like, oh my goodness, what did he say on this part? Or I forgot this, or what step? Also, it gives students ownership of the device for them, and they'll take better care of it if they have ownership for it. Some of the cons: we don't want to pay for a new one if it breaks or spills something on it. Who's going to take care of that? Who's going to be responsible for it? Then the other thing was they can't afford internet services. What are we going to do with the students? Parents can't afford internet. Are we going to pay for internet for them? Don't want to monitor the child while working on it. Some parents are feeling like if they have electronic devices in the home, they're constantly having to monitor their child while they're playing on it or working on it. And who's going to be responsible if it's lost or stolen? Who's going to get, as far as the bill, is that going to go on my child school fees? And then you have to think about graduation. I don't know if you've ever, just over the years, I can remember students not being able to graduate because they've had $1,200, $1,300 in school fees just from letting it build year after year after year. So I don't know if that still goes on, but I just remember it back in the day. So, and then what if my child downloads a virus? Who's gonna be responsible for that if they put a virus on the laptop? Also, for the staff, having someone available for the repairs if something was to happen, if they get a virus, who's going to repair it? Are you going to be available? And then that's going to be another fund that will have to fund that as far as being able to make the repairs on the computers. Also making sure that certain sites are completely blocked, which is, just super important, because we have to make sure that those sites are blocked, that kids are not watching just anything. Because nowadays you can type in absolutely anything and pull it up on YouTube, and there it is. And also, I found this interesting. One site called it a time-wasting appliance. just feeling like anything electronic in the home that, basically their kids are just wasting time. They'd rather see them just pick up a book and read versus being on their phone, texting, or on the computer or anything like that. So like I said, they just call it a time wasting appliance. So, hey. Reasoning. We too often focus on the intervention, like sending home a mobile device, but those people that haven't had the experience will use them differently because they're not used to it and they're just basically just trying to get it figured out. I found this an interesting fact that low income kids will use games and cheap thrills, like I said, that are available on the computers, whereas the kids that have been mentored with a parent next to them use it as a prep for school, and they require less monitoring. So students that are just really familiar with it, they know they have to get their homework done or they can use it as a research project, they tend to need less monitoring because they're just taking that device a lot. They're just taking it serious. As far as intervention, it's important for schools to provide parents with information on the best way to use the device. You can't just send it home and just expect them to know how to use it. So like I said, it's just very important to provide the parents with the information as far as the different sites that the student should be on, as well as how to use it. And it'll help parents out getting used to the keyboard as well as the student. Since not all parents are equally familiar with technology themselves, schools can stress the importance of technology by telling them about good online learning sites and best practices for limiting screen time. And just, with that limiting screen time, I mean, that's just basically meaning, you don't want this to where the child is having this in their bedroom at, 9, 10 o'clock at night when they should be getting ready for bed. So like I said, you want to limit the time that they are actually on it, making sure they are doing their homework or just something related to school, and not, like I said, just having the laptop in their bedroom watching YouTube videos or just whatever, beyond bedtime. And like I said, it's just a limited time. You don't want them on that for hours at a time. I mean, just maybe an hour here and there, but like I said, you don't want them spending 4 or 5 hours on the computer on a daily basis. What are the parents saying? Parents in low income neighborhoods want to learn along with their children and are interested in being part of the digital age. Kids shouldn't just be given the equipment and told to go. They should be given the content recommendations along with it. So like I said, you can't just give them the computer and tell them, hey, just have at it. Like I said, they need some type of intervention, and parents are interested. They want to learn. I'm always surprised when parents come in and they'll say, oh, I don't know anything about it. My son is so smart doing this on the computer and I don't know what he's doing. We have to intervene. We have to educate the parents so they are becoming familiar with it and they can better monitor their child. You don't want them just going off into the deep end and the parents are just, it's like they don't have any idea what their child is doing on the computer. And also parents are saying that they feel that if their child had extra time to become familiar with the computer, it might help them on the state test since everything is computer based. I experienced that firsthand. I think just coming from a school that wasn't a technology school, I seen a big difference because, by third grade, of course, they have to take that third grade guarantee and it's computer based. So you're talking about schools that don't have that technology, and knowing that they have to go online and take this test on the computer. Being at a school that I'm at now, it's a technology and science magnet school, so they have a tech class every single day. So the students at South, they are prepared. They know the keyboard. They're familiar with how to use the mouse, being able to navigate all through, the computer. So like I said, I mean, that was just a great success as far as being a part of that school. And hopefully it would better enhance. And like I said, it's not just third grade, because they do take it in fourth, fifth, and sixth as social studies. So like I said, it would definitely be a great enhancement for everyone. In conclusion, students will have to be made accountable and take total responsibility. And that's just meaning not blaming their parents or siblings. And we know how students can be. Oh, I didn't do it. My sister did this, or my parent didn't remind me to bring it back, or, we just can't take any excuses like that. And then students and parents will have to sign a contract stating that both of them are going to be responsible for this. The parents is given permission for the child to bring the laptop home and then bring it back. I mean, like I said, we have to have both signatures on file. Also, students and parents will have to attend a short orientation about the expectations as far as how to return the device. And just from personal experience, my kids growing up, we didn't have laptops, and the school actually provided that for my kids. So it just made a huge difference, them being able to bring the laptop home and return it back to school. So I'm all for it. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed.